morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. Welcome back to my living room. My name's Katie O. This is Moon Mama Musings. And this is an astrology peephole for today, the 19th of July, 2021. Currently in a waxing gibbous moon in the sign of Scorpio, which, very, very always interesting when we have the moon and the sun in the same sign. It tends to be quite a concentrated energy in whichever element that they're in. And we've got water, right? Or no, sorry, they're not in the same sign, but they're in the same suit, so to speak. So water on water, guys. This is the floods. This is the immersion. This is the becoming completely encroached upon by our emotions. But Scorpio, in a transformative way, all right? Scorpio is the sign of sort of sex, death, and rebirth, all right? I love it that I once read a description that says that Scorpio can be misunderstood as like a crazy, deranged sex freak, but it's just because they're so adaptable. They're well, not adaptable. Adaptable is the wrong word. It's just I mean, the way I always describe it is a scorpion for me isn't a water animal, right? Yeah, it looks a little bit like a lobster, but it's a scorpion. It's a land-based. It's like it's an imposter. It's not really a water sign to me, but it is. In any case, this is all about the transformation and the death and the rebirth and all of those wonderful, exciting things. Got quite a lot happening in the astrology today. And honestly, we're still very much, the transformation, the death and rebirth portion of this is very much giving us this duality of things. The this and this can be true. The this and that can be true, rather. Like, we need to sit in this void, like we talked about yesterday in live. It is not a time for action right now in this Scorpio moon. It is very much a time to sit and watch and integrate as the death comes in and the rebirth begins. Or the death fades out and the rebirth begins. It's extremely transformative. It's extremely emotional. It's extremely triggered. And the astrology is going nuts. The discernment is going to be crucial because your head and your heart are going to be figuring stuff out. But they were in a square yesterday. The heart and the sun and the moon were in a square. Was it yesterday or the day before? Might have been the day before. Yeah, sorry, it was the day before. So this is when, like, you can never really believe anything that's true. You can never really trust because, well, no, you can believe, but you just have to really use discernment extra strong in the times where there's the squares of the moon and the sun. Because it's like no matter what your intuition says, your head just gets in the way. It's like they just second guess everything that the subconscious says. But it's important process in learning how to hear which is the whisper of the subconscious or the intuition and what is the yell of our ego. All right, well, we're going to get to that also. In any case, we've got to be careful about those transmissions between the head and the heart right now. We have to be careful about using the discernment to know what messages we're getting our ego and what messages that we're getting our subconscious or our intuition, and do the appropriate things with them, right? Like the ego messages, even if we're receiving those messages from the ego, it doesn't give us a get out of jail free card to just be a dick, yeah? It's asking us to evaluate them. It's asking us to look at, okay, why am I triggered, yeah? If I feel anger right now, why is it that I feel anger? Because I'm responsible for my reaction to my emotions, right? And I'm not going to just let that happen without some sort of analysis, right? So, because we've changed. And we've just been through our Virgo and our Libra moons, which were all about the jury and the judge, right? So, yeah, it's all about discernment. It's all about discernment. It's very, very, very tricky energy. Anyway, let's get into the astrology of today. Today we have the moon in opposition with Uranus. I've got noted here, our subconscious feels this change coming, but what have I got here? I can't even read my own writing now. We've been trying to pinpoint it. Okay, there we go. Our subconscious feels this change coming, and we've been trying to pinpoint when and how it's going to happen. We're trying to predict the future. We're trying to use our experiences from the past to put this lens of expectation on what we expect to come, or what's coming in the future. Like, we don't know what's going to come, and we've done some analysis and we've gathered some information. But the truth is that you don't have enough information to be able to make a clear, concise decision about it. And it's almost like you've missed the point in trying to figure out how and when it's coming, because we forget, like, this is Uranus, right? It's not the Uranus of premeditated change. It's the it's not the planet of premeditated change. Uranus is the planet of unexpected change, of upheaval, of change, of explosions, of fireworks, of the tower. You can't expect what's supposed to be unexpected, right? It's that energy of Willy Wonka saying, the suspense is killing me. I hope it will last. It's lovely. So stop trying to predict the future. Stop trying to guess what's going to happen or what's going to come or what that person is thinking or what they're doing, or doesn't matter. Okay? It's the Schrodinger's cat scenario. You can think about it till the cows come home with this moon in opposition with Uranus. You can think about it until the cows come home, okay? You can feel it out all you want. You can feel all the emotions that you can about every made-up scenario that you have in your head. But the reality of it is it's going to happen in an unexpected way. So it's just better off to leave the space for that unexpected thing to happen. All right. We also have the moon in a square with both Venus and Mars. The warriors are giving kind of conflicting information right now. Our real world masculine feminines representations, they're feeling triggered. They're feeling confused. It's back and forth. It's yo-yo-y, but neutrality is the key to deal with this, is that we have to understand that with all of this stuff coming on, more than one thing can be true. Schrodinger's cat, yeah. There's a cat inside of this box, but the box is shut. We don't know if it's dead or alive, but it's both until we're able to open the box and look, and it's not yet, okay? With this moon squaring Mars and Venus, this is boundaries. This is obstacles and boundaries and conflicting energy. It's not comfortable. It's challenge. Yeah, it's challenge. This is pure challenge. Yeah, it's normal that we don't really know what the hell is going on when we're not being able to match what we feel with what we see, with what we know and what we see, with it's this kind of a vibe. It's very confusing. All right, now we have the moon making a trine with the sun now. We got the sun and the moon in a trine. The head and the heart are trying to get on the same page again, right? This is like the windshield wipers are trying to get there. It's like they're planning a meeting to hear each other out and deliberate. Okay, they're like starting to get on the same page. They've not yet had the meeting to deliberate on both of their findings, but they're planning out how to do it. How do we make this work? How do we get to the same, how do we get into the same room so we can decide what's going on? Yeah, how can we just come to a place where we can actually have a discussion about this instead of just letting Mars and Venus tell us what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it's like we now stop. We don't want other people's advice anymore. We've had all the advice that we need. All right. Okay. Maybe there's a few people that we're keeping close that are able to sort of keep us in check, right? To proctor us into sort of keeping the straight and narrow. To when we feel like we're running off the rails, those people are going to help us keep on the rails. And when they fall off the rails, well, we help them, and it helps us too. It's cancer season, cancer energy, guys. The 6 and the 9, one feeds into the other. All right. What else do we have? We have the moon making a trine with Neptune. So remember, Neptune is in retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which make it the scary crone from Vikings, right? Like the real soothsayer, the one that actually knows what the fuck it's talking about, and it tells the truth even if it's scary. But with this trine, it's almost like she's given us a little bit of a break. She's giving us some nice prophecy. She's giving us some time she's been hammering us with really scary, nasty, shocking information. And now she's kind of going, okay, I've given you all of the tough love now. I'm going to go back to sort of trying to give you some more encouraging messages. With a trine, it's like the Jupiter of alignments. It's expansive and it's lucky. And it's lucky. The most important thing is that it's lucky for me. Like this is 777 on the slot machine. Let me see. What do I have noted here? The crone is giving prophecies that we can see coming true. And they're aiding in our expansion. All right. They may seem lucky and exciting, and it's meant to, oh my God, I can't believe I can't even read my own writing. it's meant to be scary, but she wants it to motivate you. Okay. Maybe she's been tough love in the recent days where you've gotten some really like kind of messages. Or, I mean, again, some of you might have had some really nice, pleasant surprises, but I feel like it's a mix of both. You've probably had some pleasant surprises, and then maybe you might have had the wind taken out of your sails, so I hear. But either way, this is kind of like she's like, look, she's stopping back and saying, look, I had to tell you all that nasty stuff, and it was meant to kick you in the arse and motivate you. And the reality of it is that here, let's talk about this in a more productive way. Let's expand it now. Okay, I gave you that tidbit to kick you in the ass, to get you moving. Now let's talk it through. Now let's clear things up. All right. And with that, the moon is making a trine with Pluto. So the healing is being introduced in this transformation that's underway is for your healing, and it's for your rebirth as a new beautiful being. This is the sextile is the beautiful, healing, gorgeous. Did I say trine? Moon is sextile with Pluto, the planet of transformation. So yes, our subconscious, our emotional being is being healed by this beautiful transformation. And yes, sometimes transformation is painful because it involves death. Yeah. And some of you guys have actually been experiencing the death of loved ones lately, and it's been very hard. And I feel for you, and I reach out to you, and I send out all of my love to you if you're experiencing the loss of someone you care about, or you know someone dear to you that's experiencing the loss of someone they care about. A lot of souls are leaving this world right now, and there's a greater. Remember, we're just like one piece of a greater thing, right? We are one with all. We are love in the whole, which means that when we go through personal things, it does reflect, on some sense, the greater global impact of things. So the world is going through this stuff too. So we are going through a personal death and rebirth. A lot of the world is going through this as well, and it has to do with our institutions. It has to do with our family lives. It has to do with our relationships. It's all kinds of stuff. Okay, it doesn't mean that every single one of you are going to have a family member that dies, or you're going to lose a relationship or whatever. It just means that it's manifesting differently for everybody. And I mean, you know where your discernment is. But either way, they want, like with this moon sextiling Pluto, is that we know in our heart of hearts that all of this transformation is for our better good. And yes, it may not be comfortable when it's happening, but it will end up benefiting us in some way. It's 12:22 on my timer there. All right, the last aspect we want to talk about is Mercury making a square with Chiron. Okay, Chiron is our wounded traveler, our wounded healer, and he's just recently gone into retrograde in the sign of Aries. So the wounded healer is all about the cycles that keep coming up, the old wounds, whether they be from past lives or just prior in our life, the stuff that we don't like looking at, the thing on our top of our list that we know we have to deal with, but we know it's going to be painful and annoying and time consuming to unravel it. We know that we can't avoid it forever, right? And now is the time that we knew that we couldn't avoid it forever, and now the time is now, because Chiron is retrograde in the sign of Aries, which is the Fool energy, which is the Emperor, which is like Aries is the first of the zodiac. It's the beginning. It's the start. This is we need to begin fearlessly unraveling these pains and these old cycles, these old wounds, these Achilles heels that we have. I'm really being called to call that, guys. Like, I've been feeling my Achilles heel lately, big time, and I've unraveled a lot about it. It's very, very interesting. But it's all about it's the Achilles heel. Whatever it is that is your Achilles heel is it's time to heal it. Okay, it's puns. I love it. You have to heal your Achilles heel. It's fantastic. Anyway, in order to cope with Chiron being in the Fool energy about healing these wounds, we need to communicate about them. And it's challenging, it's triggering, it creates reactions, it creates knee jerks, it creates the wounded dog, right? It's it's just like Ghost, okay? Ghost got attacked by a dog on the beach the other day, and now she's having trouble. The happy little dog that was wandering up to everything and anyone and just being like, hey, I'm a dog, what are you? Can we play? Well, now when other dogs are approaching her, she's running away in fear because she doesn't know if they're going to bite her or talk to her, okay? And even if the dogs are just excited, she's like, oh my God, this dog is running at me. Fuck this. I'm out of here. All right, so she's dealing with the wound that's been inflicted lately, you know, and she's also dealing with, of course, like, anyway, it doesn't matter. But either way, these wounds are being presented to us, and we need to look at them face on, and we need to cope with them, okay? So I'm currently working with my poor little dog, getting her a harness and trying to, you know, every time a dog comes running up, I stop her and I sit her down and we wait, and the dog comes forth and we talk to them quietly all together. So we're getting her rehabilitated into not being afraid when all the dogs run up to her. And this is what you have to do too. You're just like poor little ghost, and something has created this knee-jerk reaction in you, and you're being presented with it, and you know that the things that keep us apart keep me alive, and the things that keep me alive keep me alone. You know that this defense mechanism doesn't help you, so you're trying to heal it and change it, but you still have the, okay, this is what I usually do. Wait, I need to acknowledge it, and now I need to move forward with it, with this Mercury squaring Chiron. This is the new ideas that we've been talking about in many ways, is that we need to stop for a second when we feel triggered and ask why we feel triggered, so that we can analyze it and transmute that, and in that misguided energy that used to just make us freak out and shoot ourselves in the foot before anyone else could shoot it for us. We're healing that now, and we're reintegrating it, and we're stopping ourselves, doing this analysis, and moving forward in a more productive way. And it's not an easy task, so congratulations to you. You're being very brave. Some people never, ever bother to do this in their entire life. And each and every one of you are doing this in some way, shape, or form, maybe in multiple areas of your life if you're listening to me here. Okay, so it says, we are being angrily faced with all of those wounds that keep coming up in the cycles. This is the thing at the top of our list. That's the last notes that I have about this. Guys, remember, whatever it is that keeps on coming up for you in a cycle, that won't leave you alone, that thing that you keep going, I have thrown this away in the bin 15,000 times. And it keeps coming back. The cat came back the very next day. The cat came back. We thought he was a goner, but the cat came back the very next day. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All right, this is the thing. Is like you literally take this cat and you drive it to the other side of the world, and you drop it off in a dumpster, and you drive as fast as you can back home, and you get home and it's sitting on your doorstep, and you're like, what the actual fuck? How did you even get here faster than I did? You know? Cat come back the very next day. If you've got a cat that comes back the very next day, darlings, it is time to take this newfound Mercurian energy that we have discovered in the retrograde season and use it productively to figure out why that cat's coming back and decide whether or not we just need to keep the cat, or maybe it's time to put it out of its misery. All right. Alrighty. I'm going to pull 3 cards today. I'm pulling one from the Starseed Oracle deck, and then I'm pulling one from the Mystical Moments, and then I'm going to pull one from the Angelarium, because I feel like we need some trinities here right now. We are working in trinities. It's very important. Never 2 without 3, yeah. All right, one from this one, please. Thank you. All right, let me just have a look here. Okay. I'm like a bird, I only fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is. Where to start? Trust the timing. Let's start here. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. You guys are dealing with these issues, and you're feeling pressed for time. You're feeling like, I need to sort this out. Why haven't I healed yet? Why haven't I done this yet? Why am I not where I think I should be? Why is my timeline that I've set for myself not working out? Why is it that I've not received these gifts yet? Why is it that I've not graduated yet? Why is it that I've not met the person yet? Why is it that I've not found my dream house yet? Why? It's okay to ask why, guys, but you can't dwell in it. This is what they're saying, is that the more you dwell in it, the more you just resist that this is actually coming. And the more the timing is delayed, because they need nice, clear, open space, nice, open realms of possibilities in order to bring in what is for your greatest good. And just like we talked about before, the more we try to predict what's happened, the narrower a scope we give them in order to bring in our gifts. Yeah? And if we narrow the scope, it takes longer for them to find the thing that vibes with what the scope is pointing at. Yeah? It's all about alignments of vibration, right? So the greater the spectrum of vibration you leave open for the universe to fill, the greater you have a possibilities of coming through. All right? Nothing happens until time is right. And if you feel confused about stuff, or like you don't have the information you need to make proper decisions, sorry, just looking for my dog, then it's because it's not time for you to have that information yet. All right. And I know that's frustrating to hear. I know, trust me, I hate this stuff. This is one of my biggest lessons, but hey, it is what it is, and it's not going to come sooner. Just surrender. All right. We have 22, like a bird. 22, Focus, forward thinking, possibilities, motivation. A woman full of expectations looks into the future. There are no boundaries to what she can accomplish. Like the bird next to her who flies strong and direct, she knows now is the time for focused energy. You may have found yourself losing motivation lately or questioning your decisions. The key to recapturing your passion lies in readjusting your focus to unlock creativity. Surrounding yourself with activities or people who make you feel inspired. They can be the breath of wind under your wings. Remember, I said earlier it was like the wind came out of your sails? You were relying on a boat to carry you before, but now you realize you have wings. So you don't need wind and sails if you've got your own wings that you can create the wind, right? Like birds don't need, it's not like a kite that it needs a wind or a breath of wind to fly. The birds create their own wings, right? And look at this woman, she's got these wings over her. We know that it's not time to act right now. We know that it's a time of adjustment, and we know that it's a time of waiting, and that the timing is right. The thing is right. It's just in timing that it's coming to us. And this is encouraging us to just continue to release and allow things to happen. All right. 2 is a number for me of values, but also of a crossroads. More than one thing can be true. I'm faced with 2 options. Which do I choose? Weighing out the options, right? So you are aligning with somebody else who is also in this energy. You know how I feel about repeating numbers. The last one we have here is Remiel, the Angel of Visions. Look at him. He's pretty damn cool. Look at his he's like transmissions coming down to him or around him, or he's got a big old crescent moon on his forehead too. They look like horns. Chiron and Aries. All right, let's find Remiel. Here we are. The Shepherd of Good Graces, a shining light in the distance, beckoning us forward into the future. The green pastures beyond the next hill are hard to see. Remiel assures us that these things will get better. It whispers, something is coming, and it's beautiful. Keep pushing towards the horizon, towards the setting sun. As the light fades, you feel as if someone is watching you. Far in the distance, you see a lone figure walking, a dove on its shoulder. You stop for a moment to marvel at this vision. Then when you move again, it's gone. You hear a flutter of feathers as the dove lands gracefully on your shoulder. Oh, signs, a cane, the rising sun, a white dove. Guys, you feel like the sun is setting all on you, but it's just because it needs to set in order for it to rise again. This Remiel, the Angel of Visions, is really all about understanding the truth of things and understanding that your intuition is correct and that the message is it was just 22:33 on the clock. The visions that you're having are true. The intuition that you have is true. These little glimpses that you get that you brush off as your imagination running away with you are not. This is you tapping into the infinite possibility field. You're seeing the possibility of the beautiful future ahead of you that the universe is trying to bring towards you because you deserve it. Yeah, if you're here, it's because you deserve it. You deserve these gifts. And guess what? The universe just wants to act in love. It's their universe. It's their language. Everybody is entitled to the language of love, okay? Remiel is telling us to just wait. Okay, it may be far in the horizon. We can see it every so often, but as soon as we look focus on it to try and see the details, it's gone. Because we're not meant to see the details yet. So just sit in this wonderful energy. Understand that you are a beautifully protected being and that everything that you desire is actually coming to you. All right? How beautiful. How wonderful. All right, guys, I'm out. I will be back tomorrow on Instagram Live for the moon transit to Sagittarius, tomorrow the 20th of July, 2021. Until then, I'm so sorry for anything you're going through if I've made you feel a certain way. Thank you so much for lending your energy to the circuit and being a beautiful human being. I love you to the moon and the stars and the sun and infinity and beyond and back. And I accept this and I hope you do too. But if not, that's cool. Catch you later. Bye.